and expressions, or expressions and equations. We're going to start in with some substitution. So if you'll read through, it'll talk about evaluate the expressions. We're evaluating. We're not solving for anything. We're actually evaluating. So we're finding what the value is of that expression, given the value of x. So on the end, it shows you that I'm giving you like x equals 8. So sometimes I box it, that last part, just so that I know what the x value is. And for today's purposes, I really want you to actually plug it in and then do order of operations. Don't forget we have parentheses, exponents, and then multiply or divide, whichever comes first, and then adding or subtracting, whichever comes first, left to right. And then, of course, a fraction bar. But at this point, we don't have the fraction bar. So parentheses, I do have some parentheses, but what that really means when I'm looking at this, there's nothing to do inside the parentheses. However, I can simplify my signs because if I have a plus and a negative, they're not the same. Okay, so not negative means it's, or is negative, because a plus means is, and a minus means like negative. So is negative. If I have the other direction, it's going to be not positive, which would mean it would be negative. Here it is negative, so it's negative. If it's a plus and a plus in parentheses, that's going to be an is positive, so it's plus. And the other one you're going to have is going to look like a negative and a negative, so it's going to be like not negative. So it's not negative, it's positive. So that might help you as you're going through, like looking at the two signs next to each other. So this would be, it is negative, because plus minus. So it is negative, so it's a minus. So 6 plus, my x value is 8, is negative is a minus 11. Now I have adding and subtracting only, so I'm down at this level right here. And so I'm going to add these together, and I get 14, take away 11. And 14 minus 11 is 3. Number B, I'm giving you a negative 12, and I just want to see what we can do with a negative 12 as the x value. So I'm going to plug it in for the x, put it in parentheses. So I'm going to have negative 14 minus my x value of negative 12 plus 7. So I need you to go back up here and look. I've got a negative and a negative. So negative and negative means not negative, so it's positive. So these together is going to give me a plus. So negative 14 plus 12 plus 7. So if you owe me $14 and you have 12, you give me those 12, you're only still owing me $2 plus 7. So you owe me $2, now you have 7, so you're going to give me $2, and now I'm going to give you $2. Now I only owe, actually I have $5 extra. This next one, let's tidy it up first. So I've got a plus and a negative. So a plus and a negative up the top would be right here. Plus and negative would mean it is negative, so it's a negative. So 2 minus the x value. Minus the 4, not negative, right? Negative, negative, not negative. So that's going to be a plus 3. So this gives me a negative. That gave me a plus. And now I'm going to plug in the 7 for the x value. So 2 minus 7 minus 4 plus 3. So 2 minus 7 gives me negative 5 minus 4 plus 3. Go back to the beginning. Negative 5 and negative 4 means left 5 and left 4 more is left 9 plus 3. So if you're left 9 and you go over 3 to the right, I'm going to be at negative 6. And if you need to use a number line, we can make a little number line up here. Let's do this. Let's go, here's negative 10 all the way over here to positive 10 with a 0 in the middle. So you can kind of go and do your little tick marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That'll be your negative 10 right here. And this is your 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10. So we have all the way from negative to the positive. And so on this, you can actually take it and go, I'm at 2. So So if you start out at 2, here's your 0. So if I start out at 2, and I go 7 to the left, because negative means left. So if I went left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I'm going to go left 4 more, just looking at it from right at this level right here. I'm going to go left 4 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to go right 3, 1, 2, 3. This is where I am, which would be negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how I got that. Number 6, I've got negative x, or opposite of x, opposite negative 10, plus 20, minus 4, not negative here, so plus 2. Negative and negative, not negative. Not negative makes it plus, so positive 10, plus 20, minus 4, plus 2. So if I'm at positive 10 plus 20, hopefully we know, put these together, that's 30, minus 4 plus 2. 30 minus 4 is 26, plus 2, and 26 plus 2 is 28. Now the next set, number E, has that absolute value in there. And remember from yesterday, absolute value means no sign. It's actually like strips the sign. So this is going to be a negative 6.8 plus absolute value of negative 3.2 minus 2.6, because this is my x value. Now I'm going to take the absolute value of that negative 3.2, which is going to be negative 6.8 plus 3.2, because it's going to just strip that sign, and then minus 2.6. Now $6.80 basically is what you owe me, but you have $3.20, so you give it to me. How much are you going to have? Well, they're different signs, so you're basically finding the difference between the two numbers. So 6.8 and 3.2, the difference between those is going to be 3.6, and it's going to be negative. So this is going to give me negative 3.6 minus 2.6. Now this means left 3.6 and left 2.6, so they're going to be added together. So negative 2.6 gives me a negative 6.2. Oops, my pen does not want to write down there. All right, so now we're going to do a little up and down. So up and down, and you're going to substitute in values. So if I have 3x and then I have 1/3 x, here's my x value. You're going to plug in a 1, then a 2, then a 3, then a 4. And what I want you to do is I want you to find what patterns do you notice. And on the Pear Deck, you're going to be entering in the information, and you're also going to be answering that question. So to start with, I'm going to just plug in a 3 and then a 1, which gives me 3, because 3 times 1 is 3. And then I'm going to do 3 times 2, and 3 times 2 is 6. I want you to finish this one and this one on your own. The next column, I've got 1/3 x, so I'm going to say 1/3 times 1 equals 1/3. 1/3 times 2 equals, well, this actually means, I'm going to take this as 2 over 1, because it's a whole number, right? So this is 1 times 2, which is 2 over 1, 3 times 1, which is 3, so 2/3. So when I plug this in, this one's going to be like a 3 times 3 to evaluate it, and this is going to be a 1/3 times 3 over 1, and then evaluate it. So then what patterns do you notice? Please fill that out on your own. So try on your own. I'll be looking for that when I'm looking over the Pear Deck for your completion part. And then I have this practice substitution. In the Pear Deck, you'll click the link, and you should be able to do some practice. If it asks you for a code, find your name, And then you're going to put in your S number without the S as your code. So pause me and finish that substitution, and then come back to me when you're complete. So the next part of this is, what is your reason? In each list, find expressions that are equivalent to each other and explain why they are equivalent. If working with a partner, well, in this case, we can't really work with partners because it's due to COVID. So we're going to say, whoops. Basically, I'm going to have you like write your explanation of why you think so. So here we go. I want you to look at this and say, well, 5 times 5 is, and actually evaluate. So evaluate each. Then tell me which ones are the same. So you might have to go on a separate sheet of paper or however you want to like calculate this. But this would be, for instance, this one is 5 times 5, which is, I know, is 25. And this is 2 to the 5th power. Well, that means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. And 16 times 2 is 32. 5 squared means 5 times 5, which we know is 25. Ooh, those are equivalent. So far, these two are equivalent. And 2 times 5 is 10. So 1 and 3 are equivalent. I would like you to do that for each of the following. And I believe they're on your Pear Deck, so you can like pause me and go ahead and go through those and select your choices. Show your work if possible. Pause me. Okay, ready for more. What is the last digit? Show your reasoning and explain your reasoning. So I would like you to go ahead and tell me what your last digit is as far as what you feel it is. I'm not going to answer this right now. We'll talk about this in class. So make sure you ask me about this one. So try on your own. This is complete on your own in the Pear Deck. This is try on your own, and then we'll do it during Q&A. Don't forget to ask me about this question during Q&A, otherwise I won't answer it. Lemonade sales and heights. Lynn set up a lemonade stand. She sells a lemonade for 50 cents per cup. Complete the table to show how much money she would collect if she sold each number of cups. Well, in row 1, I've got lemonade sold, number of cups is 12. I want to know the money collected. So show me how you would find that. If I'm telling you that each cup of lemonade is 50 cents, I would hopefully, you're going to show some work here, and it would be 12 times the number or the cost of a cup, which is 0.5. So in this case, I should end up with $6. And if you would prefer to write it the other direction, I'm good with that as well, because it would be the same thing. It would be 0.5 per 12, and this would be the rate per cup times number of cups. And then how many cups did she sell if she collected $127.50? Explain your reasoning. So on this last one, I want you to go ahead and show your work on how you would collect that or get that value. But that's my ending value. Okay? So keep in mind my answer here, this equation, if you wrote this, would be 0.5 times the 12 equaled 6. So cost per cup times number of cups equals total collected, total dollars collected. And then I want you to apply that information to B on your own, please. Letter B here, Elena is 59 inches tall. Some people are taller than Elena. Complete the table to show the height of each person. Okay, so Elena is 59 inches tall. Some people are taller than Elena. So the person, Andre, how much taller in inches than Elena? Well, he's 4 inches taller. Lynn is 6.5 inches, and Noah is D inches. The person's height in inches. Well, if Elena is 59, it's going to be 59 what to get to Andre? I'm hoping it would be plus 4 to get the total. And then Elena is 59 plus, hopefully you got 6.5. And then you can give me your answer. So make sure you give me your answer down here. And then give me this one as well. So what I'm doing is the 59, which is Elena, plus inches taller equals height, or person's height. Oops. Then it says if Noah is 74 inches tall, how much taller is he than Elena? Hopefully you understand how to like go backwards from that, right? Because a fact family or a it's going to be in reverse. So hopefully this number minus 59 would be the 4 inches taller. Crazy eights. A plant measures, so finish that on your own. Complete. Unknown. Plant measured 2x inches tall last week and 8 inches tall this week. Circle the explanation that represents the number of inches the plant grew this week. Explain how you know. So a plant measured x inches last week and is 8 inches tall this week. Which expression shows the number of inches the plant grew this week? So if we want to find out how much number of inches that the plant grew, so what was the difference? Okay, it is difference and they're both minus, but what did I start with? Like am I going to go backwards to find out what we end up starting with, or am I going to start with it and then take away? Did it shrink or did it gain? And then for the expression not chosen, describe a situation that the expression might represent. So please go ahead and complete these on your own. And make sure on your own, or Toyo, try on your own. And then make sure you ask me during Q&A time. Then I have checkpoint 1 here. Because checkpoint is practice 1. So it's actually going to be our second checkpoint. It's practice 1. So every day, just hopefully you understand, every day you'll do your notes with a Pear Deck. And those are actual checkpoints in Summit. So as you complete the whole Pear Deck and try everything on your own, and I see that you've completed it, then I will actually go in and evaluate. I might give you some feedback and have you redo some things if it's not up to par, to make sure you understand what you're doing. And then make sure you finish those Pear Deck questions and the checkpoint on your paper. This is on your own. We will go over this. I'll release an answer key at a later time. Questions? If you have any, please give me an email.